Alrighty, it appears that I am live and everything is going through. Let's just double check this. Unfortunately, I think I may have left the time. Just double check this. Unfortunately, incorrect. When I actually created this stream last week, I always start at 8 a.m. and it seems like I accidentally said I was going to start at 10:45, but that's just because I created the stream at 10:45 last week. But it definitely does start at 8 a.m. It definitely does start right now. And once again, the YouTube chat is broken in my live streaming window, so I've got to pop open a separate window so I can have the chat thing. And yeah, wonder if I just move that all the way over there, and then I'll pop the chat out here, and then okay, that's good. We're all set. I've got the chat from a completely different window. We've got everything going good, and I got a proper push to mute button instead of just the toggles. So we should not run into the same problem we had last time, where I can actually just hold down the spacebar, and when I release it, then I'm no longer muted. So the problem of me being accidentally muted for 10 minutes should no longer be a problem. Let's get some inserters, and let's finish off this. This was just to make some more circuits, because I think we are badly low on them. The green circuits are using a ton of stuff. So what are we doing this episode? Basically, we're just going to be doing exactly what I said in the title. We're going to be making trains. Look at the crap I got in my inventory. Yeah, we're going to be making trains and roboports and potentially robots, but I'm not sure. And yeah, we're going to be starting to make some blueprints, which is a really big deal because, yeah, we definitely need to make some blueprints, and this is kind of the end of the start of the game for us. So it's kind of like, all right, as that got rid of, I still don't understand why you are not just chucked in there. You can go in there. Rubite can go in there, and Stereotype can go in there. Alright, so we've got a bunch of coal from our steel build, a bunch of copper from our steel build that we did last time. So yeah, we're pretty much good to go. What I do need to do is we need to start working on the sulfuric acid. We definitely do need a bit of sulfuric acid. So we've got a nice little stockpile of sulfur dioxide. So if we have a look, sulfuric acid just requires purified water and sulfur dioxide. And we can get sulfur dioxide by using oxygen and sulfur, and we can get sulfur using the sulfuric wastewater. So we've already got a bunch of sulfur dioxide, and that'll be our first port of call. Will be to grab that, push that up, and we're going to make a little build around here somewhere. This doesn't look like a bad place to do it. Yeah, so we'll have to expand this a little bit, because obviously we're going to run out of sulfur dioxide gas eventually. But let's just put this over here. Again, this is not our full awesome base. This is just going to be our starter base that we sort of use to create the main base. And then once we've created the main base, then that's when we really go in and start finding, where the hell is it? Where the hell is it? I'm looking for fluid tanks. Alright, here's a couple of fluid tanks. Alright, here it is. Okay, we just need some steel. Unfortunately, you can't remote pick up stuff off a belt, so let's just get some of that. Storage tank and storage tank all corners. I'm not really sure if there's a big difference. I actually do want 12 of these, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so this is where we're going to be storing our sulfur dioxide. Beautiful. And we don't really have a pump, actually. I wouldn't mind having a pump, because then we can force it. Engine units. Is engine units one of those things I can easily make it, but I can't make it in my hand. Well, I do kind of want one of them now, so just give me some gears. I just want a pump. Alright, so we'll grab a pump and we'll pump all of the dioxide up here. Now, have we got our water fill? We've researched it. Okay, beautiful. I set up an assembly plant for the water fill a million years ago. I wonder if it's still there. Actually, I am piping a little bit of water every now and then. I'm not sure how far I'm piping it though. Probably not far. Probably just to that coal setup up there. It's just over here. Here it is. Here's my little water fill. No. Okay. I've definitely got it unlocked, don't I? Water fill. Water fill. Are you kidding me? Assembly machine 2s, do I even have those? I do, but they require steel. Oh, it's going to be one of those days, isn't it? It's going to be one of... Why is water fill only assembly... I assume because it's a mod. It's not a Bob's Angels mod, it's a separate mod, and there was probably some sort of mapping where assembly machine 1 is not mapped to the regular assembly machine, it's mapped to the other one or something like that. And so it's, you know what, we've got enough for our pump. Well, once I find it, I'll have enough. Please let me find the pump without having to search. No. Oh wait, it's probably here, right? There it is. Alright, so by destroying that building, we have our pump. And now we can just do this. And that'll ensure that these guys get emptied and the other ones get full, which is not really necessary at the moment, not really required to spread those around, but it makes me feel better. Anyway, that gives us a little bit of steel back from that machine. We can do this, and then we can finally start making some water fill. And then once we've got water fill, we can just put water wherever the hell we want, and we don't need to worry about massive pipes everywhere. And I apologize for having everything so insanely zoomed out when I'm doing stuff like this, but okay. What the hell am I doing here? Am I literally just... How the hell did I ever think this would work? I had an inserter literally pulling out of the water. Okay, let's not do that. There we go. And this is, other than the electricity it consumes, this recipe is completely free, so we're just going to wait a little while. And we're going to need a little bit of purified water all over the place. So we're going to need, for the sulfuric wastewater to sulfur, that just needs a bunch of clarifiers. And then this one needs a bit of oxygen, it's fine. So that one just needs purified water, which requires... I think it just requires water. Are you kidding me? Wait a sec. Purified water doesn't require water? No, there we go. That's... Okay, that's one way of getting it. Okay. You can also get it by using oxygen and hydrogen. I don't know. I don't know, because we can pull both of these out of the air using the air filters. But we've got water fill anyway, so we might as well. There we go, 64. That's a nice round number. And this is another situation where I'm just sort of winging it at the moment. We'll fix that up later. We gotta do... Basically, there's two different recipes for getting Coke. So there's the general Coke recipe, and then there's the one that produces sulfuric wastewater as a byproduct when you throw in some purified water. And that one we'll basically be using when we start running out of sulfuric wastewater, and we can use sulfuric wastewater to get sulfur dioxide as a backup for when we run out of this, because obviously lead is going to get backed up every now and then, and when the lead gets backed up, then obviously it's going to suck because we won't have any more sulfur dioxide. But we should, I mean, if both the Coke and the lead get backed up, then we're not going to have anything. But I mean, we don't need that many batteries early on, so it should be good enough. Okay, so let's get stone brick. I was meaning to get stone brick and I forgot. All right, that should be more than enough stone brick, and this should be more than enough. So we'll want... I don't even know if we need to make this expandable, to be honest. Where's my water pump? Okay. There we go. And then offshore pump. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then purified water. We will need to clarify the saline water because I have no use for it. And then the sulfuric acid requires, I'm guessing, just a chemical plant, which we can build one of them right now, or we can build a fancy one with the, I guess we've got bronze. We made a tiny bit of it to get some research going, and now it's just sitting there, but we won't kind of get any of that stuff yet. All right, let's go ahead. So that'll be where we store the sulfuric acid. Chemical, where's my chemical plant? This is going to be the biggest problem of this run, is going to be finding where I actually put all the damn machines. There we go. You're going to need power as well. Alrighty. We're actually close enough where I can just steal some of these pipes. Beautiful. Okay, sulfuric acid. Whoop. Apologize if I start doing some dodgy things. Alright, 35 per second. This produces 100. So we could do 3 of these. And that'll consume over 200 sulfur dioxide per second, which we will probably not be able to maintain. So we're not even going to do that. We're just going to have one machine producing sulfuric acid, and it produces 50 per second, which is more than enough. That should be more than enough for everything we need. Give me some iron. Alright. I'm not sure if these pipes are longer than they usually are, but they definitely seem like they're pretty long. Alright, we're going to need a bunch of them now, because I am going to put all of this on the belt. And you know what? Let's go ahead. And we're going to do underground pipes. because it just seems like we really should get some of those going on. And I'll actually take you off inserted duty. So this one only gets put in from there. Alright, beautiful. And we'll just store 300 or 150 or however many that is. Oh, we got to put them on the belt, on the bus, I should say. And usually I put fluids up a little bit further up, but I'm just gonna go standard and give it its own lane. Just give it its own lane. And we are going to make another pump here. And we're going to make batteries just down the line somewhere. Alright. You are here. Oh, well, hold on for a sec. Okay, beautiful. We're not running into anything else. That is a good sign. Okay, now, theoretically, the rest of the stream should be just us working on the right-hand side of the map. Just making actual stuff. Like all of the... Well, no, I'll take that back. We do need to fix up Coke a little bit. Put a nice little Coke build there. And since we need to fix up Coke, I'm going to go ahead, grab a bunch of iron. So this guy needs... So we need... what do we need? We need another clarifier. We need another hydro plant because this does require purified water. We've already got the 4 storage tanks that we need. We got a bunch of plant-related crap in our inventory. I think I actually fished this out by accident with that bloody inserter. I don't know why I thought that inserter would work, but there we go, it did. Alright. So we're going to put another thing here. And this is going to be for sulfuric wastewater. Come on, how many... 14 underground bells. That's probably not going to be enough, but I am very grateful that it is making them in the background. And now we've run out of the normal ones. Alright, beautiful. Might be able to just squeeze all the way... Yeah, look at that. This underground leaf is just absolutely beautiful. We are going to have to make a turn here, though, but I don't think they're that amazing. There we go. Right. And this was a aborted attempt to build a path, which never really worked out. But it was a nice thought for all this walking around that we're just constantly doing. Alright, and from here, we're going to go up. Alrighty. So, what are we doing here? This is our current process, which turns crushed coal into coke. And these should be good enough for now. I would actually like to move this out a bit. We'll move this entire build out. There we go. I'm trying to use the wrong hotkey because I'm used to doing shapes 2 related stuff, but whatever, that's fine. Okay. So, and now we're full of stuff that we shouldn't be full of. Oh! I need to do this as well. Do that. And I just press Shift C. That put a whole bunch of wood in the boilers, which I did not intend, but then again I don't want wood in my inventory, so let's you in the output of that one, put you in the output of that one, and put you in the output of that one. Alright. Now, did we actually make any liquefiers? I feel like we forgot. Oh, we got 7. 7 might be enough, to be honest. Well, actually, 7 should probably be more enough. Alrighty, so... and then you are going to go like this. Yep, we can make that work. What I'm actually going to do, no, what we'll do is we'll move this back, and then we'll move this back one. And that will allow us to just do this. Beautiful, and if we move this over, go away, go. One more. Then we can do the same thing on the other side. And you're no longer joined, but that's fine. So this needs to be purified water. We've already got water piped up here, so it's not too bad. It's getting a little bit cramped here. So we are going to put this guy. There we go. We'll put this guy here, give me some purified water. Give me a clarifier to get rid of saline. Come on, just join up, please. Please join up. Okay, beautiful. And then we just do this. So you are going to be long on your drop, but otherwise easy. We'll make one more liquefier, just so we got an even number. And then we're kind of overlapping the coal a little bit there, which I don't like too much. But that's alright. We can come back and it's not overlapping too much. And I don't think we need a pump up here. We'll just directly put it into pipes. Can we actually do something about that? Put that there, and then you can go like that. And that gives us a bit, so we can do like this. And then we can do that above. And of course we run into this belt, but that's not an issue because we can just move that up by one. And that just gives us a little bit more room to mine the coal later on. And that is beautiful. Alright. So that's going to be... actually what we'll do here is we'll have one more storage tank. Please tell me I can put a storage tank here. I can. Alright, beautiful. Just a nice little storage tank hanging out there. Hold up a second, I'm lost. Alright, so this goes in there, and this one also goes in here. And you Shift E, pick up position. And that's done. And now we need a pump. And we can afford one more pump. Excellent, excellent. Alright. And now we're going to say, it's too far away, we need a power pole right here. So this will be enabled when, oh, got my caps lock on. When sulfuric wastewater is greater than 20,000. So that'll automatically shut off. And then all of the coke will be created using this process until this is overflowing, and then we switch back to the other process. Alright, beautiful. And since I'm here, I might as well do this. Alright, and that taps the rest of that coal up in that little area. And we're good. Purified water. Everything's backed up because we're not using it, but this will sort itself out eventually. A nice little pump going here. And I'm guessing this is just going into that other area over there. So if we take a little bit of a walk over, we should see a nice, a nice little stockpile of the sulfuric wastewater. And then all we need to do is convert that over to, what are we doing? We're converting it over to sulfur dioxide. There we go, that's a nice little bit of things. So, sulfur dioxide. There we go, this guy. We need this guy. So that takes another hydro plant. And we'll just make one hydro plant because we're not going to have a lot of this stuff. Hydro plant. And then 2 more clarifiers. And that should be enough. All right. And then how do we make sulfur dioxide again? Oxygen. Okay. We've left ourselves enough room, I think. It's a little bit squishy. It's a little bit squeezy. Let's rotate these guys. It's definitely a little bit squeezy, but it is fine. I'm running out of undergrounds again. How cool. Alright, let's grab a bunch of those. Now we've got enough undergrounds to last us for days. We could do something fancy with the purified water. If we really wanted to, we could reuse it in this process. I don't think I care enough. Purified water, we can literally just make it whenever the hell we want. So it's not like we need to save it, conserve it, or anything like that. Alright, so. Okay. Well, I don't think we'll need to make this tileable, but we'll make it tileable anyway. And then we'll just send that down and then send it back up. And to make sulfur dioxide, we need a liquefier. And to make oxygen, we're not going to use that recipe, we're going to use the air one. Chemical plant and an air filter, which we're all going to squeeze into a tiny little area because, again, starter base. I've tried to expand, you know, make everything nice and big for, you know, a while, and I'm kind of just like whatever at this point. We're at the final stages of this thing anyway, so it's all good. Okay, nitrogen needs to be vented. Bit of power there, and then liquefier. Yep. Right. Drop that down there. Sulfur dioxide gas. And oxygen. Alright, beautiful. It always feels a bit weird doing this, but alright. And then the last thing we need to do is chain. And this thing is only going to be enabled when sulfur dioxide gas is less than 5,000. So if we got at least 5,000 in here, we turn it all off. And of course, the main reason we do that is because we don't want to fill up these tanks, because then it's going to stop the lead processing from down south. And we want to get the lead processing going. All right, so nice bunch of sulfuric acid already. Very, very nice. And I think we're done with that area. So now we've got sulfuric acid on the bus, and we've got so many things. Oh, I just almost forgot. We all need to do power poles, because part of my blueprint is going to require nice electric poles. Okay, I've already got the big electric poles. We can make those. That's not a big deal. Substations. I wouldn't mind having substations, but they are well out of our reach at the moment. So we're gonna make our blueprints with big electric poles and little electric poles, and that'll be fine. That'll definitely be good enough. We don't need anything huge at the moment. Alrighty, let's just move this window over here. Okay, that gives me a little bit of a better look. Bloody small ass windows. Alright. So, makes it a little bit harder to drag the bus out, having an actual pipe on there, but that should be fine. Alright, so what are we going to make? We're going to make two main things. Well, actually three main things. We're going to make the power poles that we just talked about, the big ones. We're going to make roboports, and we're going to make train related stuff, mainly the rails, because if we start making the rails, then we can start to say, okay, those are the main three things we need. And obviously actually what I really should be making is some modular armor. There is total night vision goggles that we can put on, and pretty sure night vision equipment. Yeah, that's what I want. Ooh, that's a chain and oh, it takes advanced circuits anyway. All right, advanced circuits, and that takes silicon. I was hoping to have solar panels as well. Where the hell are advanced circuits? Where are they? I can't even see them. Okay, all right. Advanced circuits. Transistors, silicon wafer, solar plastic bars, circuit. Okay, no, that's a million light years away. All right. Because yeah, my plan was always just to get perfect night vision. We could get this night vision, which requires 10 times as much power as the perfect night vision glasses. But then again, we would need portable solar power. Oh, I already got modular armor. I already made some of it. Whoops, forgot about that. But yeah, portable solar panels. Yeah, again, silicon wafer, glass. I'm not sure, I don't think we've made glass yet. That's probably going to require molten glass, glass mixture, silicon powder, silicon indium. We haven't even unlocked half of this stuff yet. Maybe we should get going on some of this though. Just in the background, we've got a fully running advanced. I just want basic silicon smelting. All right, let's just get some stuff going anyway. Glass. Let's just start working towards this stuff. Oh, we've already got that in queued. Advanced nickel, why not? Ore processing, why not? Advanced silver. We got lost on our way to get this. Powder metallurgy. Advanced silicon. Alright, let's just leave those running. And now I've got a second modular armor, which is just going to clog up my inventory, so... okay... now, you're not going to hear me for a second, because I have to hold down space to shoot this, so just bear with me. Actually, I'm not sure if that actually works. So holding down space definitely mutes my microphone, but apparently holding down shift space doesn't. It's good to know. And now I've got this bloody chest with just like one extra. If I build a repair pack, do the robots do use it? All right, excellent. Okay, well, that was a bit of a stupid detour, but whatever. Let's go ahead and get some supplies. We'll get 50 of you. Inserters are doing okay. We could do with some more belts. Grab some more of those. All right. Let's make a line for trains, train rails, because that's definitely we need a lot of. All right. Iron rods. So we need 2 iron rods a second. And where's my iron rods? Are they not? God, I hate this mod. How are iron rods? Iron rods are over here instead of in intermediate products. All right, well, they produce 4 per second. All right, you know what? It's annoying, but we will survive. All right. Okay, so iron rods, and then we're going to have 2 guys making rails. And I would have thought we'd unlocked passive provider. Oh, here they are. Okay, well, we definitely want passive provider chests because we want the robots to be able to take stuff out of them. We could use the storage chest, but I don't want to do that because you end up with all sorts of crap being stored in them. And then we need a steel and stone half belt here. And it's times like this that make me think maybe I shouldn't have squeezed. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. You shouldn't have squeezed everything in. But yes, beautiful. All right. Because now we have to do interesting things like this. And make gaps for bits and pieces. Alright, there we go. Anyway. That is going to be, should be enough for rails. Of course, we should probably hook that power up to an actual power source. Here's our one line that we're accidentally going to delete later on and send our entire base crumbling down. We need one, do you? Alright. And of course, you require iron. Which makes sense because you're an iron power pole. Oh, not an iron power pole, you're an iron rod. I'm getting very confused. Okay. For now, we'll just make these guys chests. Reducing 2 per second, so technically, we should do it like that. Because these... Oh no, wait, that's fine. I forgot these guys can actually do 2.4 per second now. They're faster inserters, so that will be fine. All right, so that's rails, and now we need power poles. So we need to sort out engines for trains. I'm not actually going to build a train for a little while. Well, not too long, but yeah. All right, we'll just have one line for rails. Okay, let's do another line for these. So you need iron rods and copper wire and steel. So it's pretty much almost the same, except we're going to need to do that. We're going to need to do that. And we have a look at this guy. Doesn't actually need that much copper. And that one, compared to the iron, because a copper cable, if I find the right thing, a copper cable, copper wire is half a copper plate. So let's put that there. And again, I'm putting it in the wrong spot. Needs to be 1 over so we could join it with the steel. All right. And then we gotta just do this mess again. How far can you actually... Oh, you can reach all the way over there. Okay, that makes things a lot easier. So that's copper and steel, and then of course this needs to be copper cable. Vertical flip. And what are you doing, robots? Help me out here. Alright. You need to be big one, and you need to be little one. Alright, make 5 of those, and we'll make 5 of those. Alright. Now we get to the big tamale, which is going to be the RoboPort. So yes, RoboPorts, absolute pain in the ass. But, oh, look at all these things that we have to highlight to get rid of them. As much as I'd like to spend the next 5 minutes doing all of these, we do kind of have to get on with it. Alright. Well, actually we do need those. Might as well create a few of them. They're complaining about not being in a RoboPort coverage, which is fine. Alright. RoboPort. So, this is where things start to get complicated. Well, kind of. We do need batteries before we can fully make this. So let's go ahead and make batteries. Lead, steel, and sulfuric acid. And so we might as well. We don't need a huge build. Actually, 5 should be enough. Kind of makes me think we should have done batteries before we did this, actually. That's a very good point. Yeah. Let's just do that. I know, that's a terrible, terrible thing to be doing to a currently building build. But I got robots, so I can afford to do it. Alright, we need temporary storage to dump a whole bunch of stuff so the robots can get their stuff sorted out. But once they go, I forgot we upgraded to like 50 of these little guys, didn't we? Okay, they're going pretty fast now. And they slightly mess up our pipe spacing, but it's all good. Yes, a few more of these actually, by the looks of it. And there we go. We're back to normal. Back to normal. I'll pick these up and then Shift C, and then Shift C, and then Shift C. It's not really helping too much. This is what happens when you destroy a bus. Unfortunately, you end up with all the stuff that you just took off the bus, and it's all just. It's very hard to sort of throw it away at this point. Alright, well, I've still got my chemical plants somewhere. And I gave myself way too much room, to be honest, but... Right, now we can use a bit of a nicer layout. There's a problem with the liquefiers, is they've got the input right in the middle, so you're kind of just screwed. Here. Okay. I'll make that a near one. I feel like we forgot to do that over here. Yeah, we definitely forgot to do that. Okay, near, near, near. Have we got 7 of these? No, we don't have 7. I just messed up which ones I was supposed to do. Okay, beautiful. That's much better. I did you guys already? Alright, beautiful. I'm not worried about anything else like the sulfur build. I think we only got 1 machine, so who cares? Alright. I guess you need 2 power poles to make you perfectly tileable. Okay. And I'm going to make another 5 of these because having an odd number of machines makes me very sad. Right. Batteries. Okay. So this is going to be lead and steel. More steel again. Alright, well, we're going to do this from scratch. And this one's going to be a little bit wonky. But it is what it is. And we can't help that. Alright. Alright, there's our lead and our steel. And we've also got to do this, which we'll do over here, just to buy ourselves a little bit more space. Oh, it had to align directly with that, didn't it? Okay. I should do it here instead. Yeah, we can make that work. We can definitely make that work. Oh, is that just perfect? That is absolutely just perfect. Right. Yeah, I'm really starting to make this just starting to regret making this just a fully squished everything in as close as possible bus, as opposed to a separate everything by 4. Although these are longer than 4, so we could have put it in like 6 lanes and stuff like that. Oh, some of you already near. Did I do that? I think I did do that. Alright, so we got batteries. Okay. So, Roboports, we're not going to need a lot of them, to be honest. But we are going to need a little bit. The problem is they just take so many ingredients, so many weird ingredients. Where were they again? Here? I think they're all here. No, they're not. These are all the actual buildings, but the actual components are over here in the intermediate products. How nice is that? All right. So what do we actually need? Steel, circuits, batteries, iron, copper. Steel, circuits, batteries, iron, copper. Alright. Let's start with the easy one. We'll get the steel or the circuits over here. And then we need batteries and electronic circuits. And I realize I'm just dumping more crap in my inventory by destroying parts of the bus, so I should really stop doing that. Okay. So electronic circuits. Alright, and then we've actually got a bit of an easier time with batteries because what's the chances? No, that doesn't reach. Got this little gap where the pipe is. Then we just need gears, and I might as well. I was just about to put a machine directly on there, but let's not do something that silly. All right, so let's go ahead. 3, you can be. That one seems like the simplest one. It doesn't take any intermediate products. This one takes copper wire, so we can make the copper wire over here. And then hand-rotor belts. I'm almost in range to be able to just pick them up directly. All right, here we go. I think we're probably good on everything else. Probably good enough. All right, so what do you need again? Some of this. Alright, you're done. What do you need? I think that's all you need. And then you're done as well. Alright, and then we got the final component, which is literally just I'm going to need to keep this going. Steel, final component. This guy. So, we're going to make this totally not expandable, but for roboports I don't care as much. And then this will be where we actually build the roboport. And then we can go ahead and we get one more passive provider chest. And Bob's your uncle. And we won't need too many of these. Alright, and we've gone through that research again. Let's just start. Ooh, worker robot speed will actually be nice. Heat, I don't know. Electronics assembly machine. That will be very nice. Yeah, in case you're not aware, normal machines can do pretty much everything. Electronic assembly machines are 2x2 instead of 3x3. They're faster than the regular assembly machines, but they can only do electronics. So they can only do things like circuits and basic circuit boards and I think wooden boards, I'm not sure. Anyway, they're incredibly awesome when you're building circuits. Incredibly awesome. Oh, we've already made them. So if we go over here, you can see this guy. It's like, this one's 0.75. This one's crafting speed of 1. And it's smaller. It's tiny. But yeah, I mean, it's just, and it doesn't even, well, it requires bronze, so a little bit more expensive. But yeah, these guys, absolutely awesome. All right, speaking of awesome, let's whack down our first roboport. There we go. We're not going to make robots quite yet, but give me a bunch of these. Give me a bunch of these. Now that we've got them, we might as well switch over to using them full time. And that's quite a lot of rails. I already got a ton of rails. Anyway, we just need 2 more roboports and then we can start working. And of course it's night when I'm doing this, which is a little bit annoying, but anyway, we have got a full hour left of the stream, and basically all we're going to be doing is sorting out blueprints, which doesn't sound very exciting, but this is going to be the basis for our entire base all the way up to the end game. So it's very, very important we do it right the first time. Ah, that was a nice drink. All right. You cannot imagine how excited I am about this. It is just going to be awesome. All right. So each of these has a supply area of 50 by 50. We're going to make a 100 by 100 grid. So the grid is going to have these 4 guys in it. And we're just going to have one huge robot network over the entire base. So we're going to start off figuring out the power poles. Doesn't really matter where you put them. Let's do it like this. And I want it to be perfectly in the middle. I am going to be quite pedantic about this stuff. So if we copy that, no. So we've got to move it 1 to the left. Now if we copy that and move it over there, that's perfect. Right. So yes, going to be quite pedantic. And then if we do it like this, alright. Now we also can do this, and that, and that, and that. And we're kind of making ourselves a tileable grid of power poles. Oh, that's interesting. It still works, but that is a bit interesting. And that one's just completely off the grid, which is fine. Alrighty. So, damn, we're going through research fast. I built the build so well that all right, let's go ahead. Control C this. Actually, no, what do we want? Blueprint. Add a blueprint. Snap it to grid. Height 100. This is where it gets a bit tricky. So we want the absolute of 0. Oh, did not mean to do that. Damn it, I'm going to have to cut that out, blur that out later on. That's a pain in the ass. Bloody shift tab, man. It always gets me with Steam games. Alright. Alright, you know what? We're going to cancel that. We're going to get ourselves some stone brick. And, of course, I don't have stone brick on the bus. I really should put stone brick on the bus. I know I've said that like 20 times at this point, but yeah. I'm going to get stone brick on the bus. Maybe I should turn off that shift tab behavior for Factorio. It's kind of nice sometimes, but yeah, when streaming, it is it does get me in trouble sometimes. All right. That should be enough. We got a nice little 2x2 thing over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this to define the border. Of this. So it's right where these guys are. And it's right here. So it's half on, half off. And that will make it a lot easier for us to actually save the blueprint a bit later on. And hopefully I bought enough stone bricks. Doesn't look like I did. That's alright. We don't need it to be I'd love it to be absolutely everywhere. But it doesn't have to be. Okay, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Right. Oh, we do have more. For some reason I thought that was it. Okay. Make this nice little border. And that will help us visualize things a lot easier. And I think even if we run out, like we've actually run out now, okay. Tiles, we definitely want the tiles, so that's 102 by 77, so we want 100 by 100 with the absolute, so we want those to be, so I'm not sure if typing in 0 actually matters. How do we adjust this? Okay, there we go. That should be fine. So we're going to create that blueprint and put it in here. Then we go ahead and delete this whole thing. And delete the tiles as well. Delete all the tiles. Maybe I should get the auto research mod installed. Look how much. All of this, most of this is just red and green signs. There's a huge amount of stuff that needs to be researched. Okay, beautiful. Alright, so because this is there, it's going to snap. And if you see I'll move right to left, the power pole position stays the same. So this means that power is going to be beautiful. It is. Now, what we do is I'm going to do that and then that. I want to do one south as well. I want to make sure south-wise that the power poles... Alright, so the power poles connect south-wise as well. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. So this is going to be our basic blueprint for everything. And then we're just going to build on top of it with other stuff. And yeah, the railroad ports should link up. If we get rid of that one and we get rid of these, yeah, so they definitely link up across the borders. That's fine. All right. Let's delete those. And let's just make one here. And we're going to create a new book. How do we create a new book? Alright. Go away, book. I already created you. I don't need to create another one. Oh, my player inventory is full. Okay. That may explain a few things. Well, this is awkward. How do I get rid of this book? We have to just go up here and press Shift-C and hope for the best. Alright, there we go. We don't need that book. Oh, it's the same book. It wasn't copying it, it was just linking it in different places. Alright, so we've got one book, and the first thing we do is we put the book in there, and this is going to be... I love the way it does this. It just sort of puts my actual username in there. Not that it matters too much. I don't like Shift-Tab because Shift-Tab for some reason automatically creates my actual whatchamacallit. How do I rename this? Whatever, we'll just have to deal with it. Rename blueprint book. What are we calling this? Rail. No, not rail. Megabase blueprints block. Alright. So, we're going to grab that. We're going to put that in there. And that is going to be basic. What do you mean, unconfirmed changes? Okay. Basic. Save blueprint. Alright. Now, if I delete that, no. Okay. I could have sworn that would work. Alright, well I shouldn't have tried deleting that blueprint because clearly that was a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. Now we've got to create it again, but this time we know what we're doing. Tiles, snap to grid, 100, 100, 1, 1, absolute, 0, 0, basic. Okay. Create blueprint, put it in the Megabase block blueprints. And usually if you put something in here, then it's good. It's a bit weird how the linking works sometimes, but anyway. Anyway, we're good to go, and now we're going to start actually designing some stuff in this blueprint. Yeah, so we're going to start off with, obviously we're going to start off with rails. Now, I want this to be a four lane. You can open the book and delete it. Yeah, thank you, White Pickle. Definitely do not want to delete it though, so we're going to avoid trying to do that. Now, the interesting thing about this blueprint is I'm not sure if it's actually rotatable. No. The problem is it's not rotatable because of the power pole positions, which is annoying. Later on, maybe we can replace it with substations, but for now, we're just going to have to deal with it, which is a bit annoying, but it is what it is. All right. So, so we're going to start off with a nice straight rail, and we're going to have to do this vertically as well, and we're going to give ourselves quite a bit of room here. And then give ourselves quite a bit of room again. So we are Aussies, so we're going to be doing a left-hand drive system because it is just awesome. And we need rail signals, don't we? That is the thing that we forgot to create. That's all right, we'll just handcraft them for now. Full inventory. Why is it always... Oh, look at that, we picked up a tree. That would have been useful several times in the past. We could have just picked that stuff up randomly, but we don't need wood and we don't need carbon. We don't need half a dozen other things as well, but it's fine. Okay, so basically our rail system is going to be mainly 1-1, but we're going to build it to also support 2-1. So if we decide we want some 2-1 trains, I'm thinking for okay. What we're going to actually do is we'll just put them in the middle, right in between the power poles. Yeah, and then you're like that, and like that. And then we rotate it. Okay, these ones are a little bit off. Or maybe these ones are a little bit off. Whatever. Okay. So that is going to be our standard left to right. And... oh, no, what we want to do here is we select it from... no. How do... what's this? Alt B. Okay, that's quite an annoying... there we go. So we select it exactly like this. And then we grab the tiles as well. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. Straight. Horizontal. Snap to grid. 100 by 100. Okay. 2. Alright, beautiful. Absolute. I would have thought that would just be 0 since it's already there. Okay. Okay, it's still lining up correctly though, which is very nice to see. Alright. And now what we can do is just put that there for a second. Yeah. Now, is that correct? It's all wonky, unfortunately. Yeah, because everything's based on the power poles, and the power poles are all very wonky. And the power poles are getting rotated all over the place. We should probably not base it on the power poles. Okay. So that's... Yeah, see that's 7 from this one. But this one's only 5 from that one. Very, very wonky. Alright. Let's go back to the straight one. Let's fix the... Yeah, because look at the distance. The power poles are messing everything up. We got this one being extremely close, only 5, and this one is just ages away. So it's not centered at all. It's absolutely shockingly bad. Okay. We do need to leave a decent amount of room from the actual ones. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 is too much. So we make that 5. And we'll make this one 5 as well. Alright. Now they're actually centered. So let's go ahead. Delete that. Re-blueprint it. Hopefully that got the stone brick. Tiles, yes it did. Snap to grid. 100. We said this need to be 2. That looks pretty good. We got an extra bit of tiles on the end, but straight, horizontal. Okay. Create blueprint. Okay. Beautiful. So now if we rotate it, the rails are in the same position every time. And even if we put it upside down, the rails are in the same position. Okay, beautiful. I'll still want a vertical one though, because we still need to deal with the fact that the power poles are all over the place. Is there anything we can do about the power poles being all over the place? I wonder. Okay, I think we need to do something about that. I think, all right, let's go ahead and let's start from scratch. Because I think we need to do, yeah, let's get the power poles completely sorted out. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with basic. And this time we're going to absolutely forget about using the big power poles to do anything other than just be in a good position. And what we'll do is we'll use regular poles to actually sort out. Why are you missing a thing? All right. So here we are. We've got a beautiful thing here. And all right, here's what we're going to do. You are right in the corner. And you are right in the corner. Now, what's their maximum reach? Does it tell me what their max... Wire reach is 32. Okay. So we're doing 100 thing. So 32, it's 96. It's not quite going to be enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to do a 25. Unfortunately, doing a 25 does put it right smack in the middle of this guy. Puts it right there. Now let's just actually test that. Okay, doing a 25, 25, 25, 20. Doesn't. That's interesting. And it's 2 off, and we did. Oh, I see what we did here. So for it to be actually on the corner, overlapping, it needs to be there instead. Because... So there. Because only half of this tile is actually part of this. Okay. So now... we do that. And then... matches perfectly. Okay. I do like this 25 by 25 idea. I think it is really awesome. I think it's a nice tileable pattern. Unfortunately, the roboports are not going to play nice. But we're just going to have to work around them. But it makes our power poles very, very, very fancy. Right, nice grid. And then what we're going to do here is... I don't want to put it directly to the left or the right or the top or the bottom, because then it gets stupid when we start rotating it. And I love the idea of having a blueprint we can just rotate freely, and it works. So we're going to do that, I think. It's kind of a bit weird, but it gives us a beautiful rotating design, and it gives us a bit more room in the middle. And room in the middle is what we really care about, because we're going to be doing like T intersections and four-way intersections and rail intersections and blah, blah, blah. So that sort of stuff is very important. And I keep getting worried we're going to get to the end of the stream, but we've still got plenty of time left. All right. So there we go. So that is going to be our new basic, I think. We're going to... Is there any way we can just update this? Select new contents for the blueprint. Alright. Oh, it's already applied the settings for us as well. Absolute beautiful. Alright. Okay. Alright, so this should be... Let's play around with this. One, two, three, four. Okay, beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do like that. And if we play our cards right, this should be 100% tileable. How far away is this? Is this right in the middle? Yeah, that's close enough. Close enough. Okay, this is weird. This looks to be too far left. Looks to be... Alright. So we've got to actually manually place it, because sometimes copying and pasting doesn't allow the top and the bottom ones to line up properly. Alright. Let's go ahead and make a blueprint of that. What the hell just happened? Apparently I got mute. I don't know, I just looked at my thing and it was on the mute. Hopefully that was... I got a push to mute button and apparently it was just stuck. It was just stuck. I don't understand how that happened, but... Anyway, it's unstuck now. Hopefully it wasn't stuck for too long. But, yes, it's just... I was looking at my volume control on XSplit and I was like, hang on, there's no volume coming out. Hopefully it wasn't stuck for too long. But yeah, if this push to mute application, I actually paid for it. I actually put some money down for it. So if that's still stuck, then broken, I'm going to be not very happy. Okay. So we need you guys to go like that, and then somewhere over here. And I'm not going to try and make this too super fancy. I mean, it already looks fancy. It looks like a very fancy T-intersection. But we're not going to try and optimize the living heck out of it. Because, yeah, that's kind of just, it's going to do my head in. So we've got our output rail signals already. So the main thing that we want is just to make sure that it doesn't deadlock at any point. All right, so we're going to start off, all the entry points get a chain signal. You're an entry point, you're an entry point, you're an entry point, you're an entry point. And all of the direct outputs get a rail signal. And we're actually going to delete these, give it plenty of room. 10K automated signs, very nice. All right, this one, that's close enough. That probably works. And we can probably reintroduce this one. We can introduce it. I don't want to introduce it further down because that's going to mess with the other side of the tiling and stuff like that. But you... No. Alright, so that one doesn't quite work, so we'll have to get rid of those. They don't quite work. But yeah, anyway. Now, theoretically, we're done at this point. But this is just one huge block in the middle. It's just one huge block. So if a train's going across here, then another one's going across here, and it doesn't quite work. So it's going to be a bit slow. So we can improve it a little bit, and the way you improve it is you just sort of put chain signals to basically split up all the blocks. Like this is a really good place to put a chain signal. We'll put a chain signal here and a chain signal here. You basically just try and split up the blocks. I know I just said that, but yeah. All right. Chain signal there. All right, so we've created a nice small block there. That's very nice. Chain signal here. Chain signal there. Chain signal there. I'm kind of losing my mind as to where the hell I actually need chain signals. All right, we definitely need one there. Okay, that's a nice little block that we've put there. Well, I'll try and put these kind of in the middle. You there, you there. Definitely one there. I like to line them up a little bit better. Chain signal there to match the one there. Yeah, basically, if there's a rail line between two, then you just kind of put a chain signal. Okay, let's have a look here. Need one there. And you kind of don't want... What you ideally don't want is you want an intersection to spread over two different areas. Like I get rid of this, and you can see that this white area now spreads over this intersection and this intersection, which is not good. So we separate those with a chain signal. And that's kind of the simplest and easiest way. We could start doing stuff like that as well. Which is technically... I've run out of chain signals. Technically a good idea as well, because it's splitting these up as well. That's getting a little bit pedantic, but yeah, okay. Definitely need one here to match the one over there. All right, let's have a check here. I should probably move that one closer to the middle. Yeah, so there. And they're all split up. So as far as I can tell, we don't have two intersections as part of the same block. And that's pretty much all you need to worry about. You could go doing fancy things like putting... Well, technically you don't want to put a rail signal anywhere that you don't have room after it to sort of put a full train. Like, yeah, well, yeah. Or room before... Technically, you always put a... Basically you want... I don't know, I'm getting a little bit confused here. I always get confused with these rail signals. Technically, you want as much space after the rail signal to handle a full train. Before, it doesn't matter too much, which is why you put one immediately after the intersection. All right. Let's just say that's good. I'm pretty sure that's good. Let me just grab another rail signal. Yeah, pretty sure that's good. Pretty sure that's fine. I can't see any intersections that are being doubled or anything like that are spreading over too much, so that should be fine. Let's just go ahead and grab it. So, copy of this. It's going to be a T, rail curb, T intersection. And then we're just going to select new contents for the blueprint. Save. Now if we do this, looks pretty sweet. It's getting some red in the middle, but that's just overlapping chain signals. And then as far as the full intersection, we could do that. The full cross, the full four-way intersection, we could do that. I'm kind of a little bit wary. We'll give it a crack. All right, so what we do first is we're going to select chain signals. Actually, we're going to select chain signals and regular signals. And then we're going to get rid of everything in here. Now, the rails I still think are okay. And we're just going to have to see how we go. And this may end up being just a mess, which just has... rail signals everywhere. Alright, here's what we're going to do. Copy this. kind of like that. We still got rails in our inventory. Right. Now you need... No. Why? Oh, there we go. All right, beautiful. And it's ironic, but in trying to make a four-way intersection, we ended up making a roundabout. Totally not on purpose, but these things just happen. These things just happen. All right. There we go. Beautiful. So now we just got to chain everything up. I don't feel comfortable having any of those. All right, let's go ahead and just start chaining everything up. So what are our exits? And we're just going to follow the exact same process that we did last time, which is to just try and split up every single block. And that's pretty much it. So chain, 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 and obviously chains heading into every part of the intersection. All right, let's start from the outside. Boom, 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 boom. I don't think we did this for the T intersection, but whatever. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And it's very important that these are all symmetrical. So you should just be able to spin this around in a circle, and it'll work beautifully. Okay. Line that up with that one, line that up with that one, line that up with that one. Okay, well, we've made it blue now, so that's nice. A little bit to the right, a little bit to the right, a little bit to the right, a little bit to the right. Okay, that didn't change any of the colors, but that's all right. We're not going to be able to... Okay, one from the end, one from the end, one from the end, one from the end. A little bit to left, a little bit to left, a little bit to left, a little bit to left. Okay. Two from the middle, two from the middle, two from the middle. Okay, and on the same side on the other thing. Okay, I'm going to run out of chain signals here. We're doing pretty well so far. We've got a lot of very nice splits. This center area is a mess. Depending on, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all 8 intersections all in one place. I don't think we can, like we can do some things there, and then we do that. Yeah, that does bugger all. I really don't know how to fix this up, actually. I don't care about making everything completely outside itself, but I don't like the fact of this one and this one being on the same block. Like 2 straight lines, and then this one and this one on the same block as well. That kind of sucks. That kind of really sucks. Because you're going to have 2 trains heading in a completely opposite direction, and they're going to just be like, hey, you know, we got to wait for each other. And I don't know how to fix it, because they're just too close to each other. Everything's just too close to each other. I mean... Oh, okay. No, we're starting to make some progress here. I like that. We are just, at this point, putting chain signals anywhere they will fit, which is not necessarily the best idea. You should know why you're putting chain signals down. And of course, this is totally not rotatable. Could put that one like that, and then that one like that, and then that one like that, and then that one like that. I don't love it. We have solved the problem, though, of two trains travelling in opposite directions not being blocked by each other. And it is rotatable. So it's okay. What the hell happened here? So it is okay. It's not great. I'd love it if there was a separation here as well, but there's just not enough room. What we really need is a rail signal attached to that, and then another rail signal attached to that. But there's only one room for one rail signal in this particular point, and you got to pick. It's okay. I mean, let's just make sure we haven't missed anything yet. Okay, we missed a few here. This one from the end, one from the end, one from the end, and one from the end. Okay, so we missed that. I'd love to put one here, but there's just not enough room. Let's just do a quick visual check. Make sure. So we got this intersection and that intersection being shared. There's not too much we can do about that. Except we could replan it to make the wider. So these two would be further away from each other. These two would be further away from each other. That might buy us a little bit of room, but it's not a base killing problem at this point. It's fine. It's still fine. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's just save that. Copy of this. That's going to be X. Rail X intersection. Save blueprint. New contents for the blueprint. Save it. And I actually want to update the T a little bit, because I think there were some more chain signals we could have put in these corner bits here. Make it a little bit nicer. Just put it up to the standard that the X intersection was at. I gotta say, 50 robots, they're definitely doing a great little job here. Alright. Yeah, like here. We definitely could use one. I don't necessarily need the T and the X to be compatible. I don't want to be able to say, oh, I can upgrade a T to an X and it'll just work. I don't think we need to go to that level. But, yeah. Alright. So once those two are put down, we'll have fixed that little situation. And I don't think there's anything else really that we need to worry about. It was just literally that one chain signal that I wanted to update. Okay, T, select new contents. Beautiful. Alrighty. Now we get to the interesting bit. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start building stations. We've got the basic. We've kind of got the basics actually. What we do need to do one more thing, and I mentioned it a little bit before, but we'll do that now. Is we'll start with a straight, and this might actually replace the straight, but I'm not sure yet. Alright, and what we're going to do is we're going to say like that. And we're just going to replace that with that, and Bob's your uncle. And that's it. Actually, The problem is this one is slightly left and this one is slightly right. And they're offset. So either you're going to be both, they're going to be offset from each other, or one's going to be a bit too far left and the other one's going to be a bit too far right. It's fine. It's fine. And again, you know what? I will put some chain signals in here because we do not want the two straights to be on the same grid. Okay, there we go. Maximum chain signals, but now you could go straight and not disturb the train on the other side. Okay. And yeah, this could theoretically just be our straight. I'm not sure if there's any reason why we wouldn't want this to be our straight. I'm just going to make it our straight. Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. All right. That is done. So now we delete that top one, we delete the bottom one. And in the very last 8 minutes, we can start working on stations, I guess. Our science is still going pretty strong. Our bus is pretty solid. We've got 100 out of 100 sulfuric acid. This is decent. This is empty. This is pretty much empty. As expected, let's have a look over here what we got going. We're backed up on coke, and we're blocked off on here because we don't have enough sulfuric wastewater. Everything, okay, so our base is solid. I'd say our base is pretty damn solid. And we've got 20 of these, 250, 250, and those rails got made very, very quickly. I'm a little bit, oh, gems. Oh, don't tell me about gems. Gems are annoying as hell to deal with. I can't remember, do we need them for modules in this version of Bob's Angels? There's some versions of Bob's Angels where you need gems, and gems are annoying, and then there's some versions where you need to like breed fish or something, and that's even more annoying. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do a straight, and we're going to delete most of it, and we're going to start working on a station. And yeah, basically this is going to be, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do about stations, because some stations we're going to need a lot of inputs and some we're going to need not too many inputs. Here's what I actually wanted to check. Of course we need stone bricks. You know what? How many? I don't have any warehouses. Come on, bots. I'm standing right here. What are you doing? Give me some stone brick. Is there any stone brick up in a random chest that I threw away? Oh, it's plenty. All right. Let's go over. The bots are obviously on break, so let's go over here and grab all of this stone brick. Why are the bots on break, actually? I got 50 of them. And I move over here, they start to actually build all that stuff, but yeah, all right, so let's get a silo and let's get a big chest, because in the final 5 minutes, we're going to start working on this. Okay, this is beautiful. It's exactly what I wanted. A 4x4 chest. So let me sort of we'll design this whole system a lot better in the next stream, because this is going to take a little bit of time to design. But what we're going to do, I'll give you kind of a sneak peek, is we're going to basically have this go like that, and it's going to output like this, and then we're going to do some really demented stuff, like, and then like that, and then we're going to do more like that, and we're going to be able to do this. And we could potentially even have some more inserters over here, fetching out of the wagon and putting into the thing. And the beautiful thing about this is if we really wanted to, we could have a second carriage. Can I grab a couple of carriages here? We could have a second carriage and we could do the same thing. Maybe. I'm not sure if it would actually fit. Might be able to fit. But anyway, we can squeeze them very close together. And here's the thing. There is, in terms of inserter capacity bonus, if you have a look down here, this is an infinite research. Okay, so for some reason in this mod, for bulk inserter capacity, you get +3 per research, and it's infinite. Which means that even with a 75 belt, like the fastest belt we can get 4 inserters pulling out of this, and it'll load crazy fast. And 4 inserters pulling out of a train, and it should be crazy fast. The only other thing I need to figure out, long inserters sort of range to be, yeah, so I mean, we do have options to get longer. So we probably will be able to get this one, attacking the wagon. I'm not sure about this one, but at least the first 3 should be able to reach it. And when they're really bulk inserters, they should be able to unload the cargo wagon pretty damn quickly. And that is basically what I am going to have as my station layout. And as you can see, we're going to have these rails, these two are going to get merged. They're going to go into a little stacker over here. And then we're going to have 5, 6 stations over here. And then basically, if it's a really, really tiny base, we can just build something here. If it's a bigger base, then what we can just do is have a basic block up here and then build it up here. And we can just sort of build it together. Just sort of snap it all together, and it's going to be awesome. Yeah, or we're going to have some insane circuit stuff with our train stops. We're not going to use LTN. We're not going to build our own LTN because it can be done, but it's got some serious problems with it, which I don't like. So we're not going to build our own LTN, but we are going to have a kind of requester provider setup, but for each good type. So you may have 3 stations providing iron ore and 4 stations receiving iron ore, and then we have 20 trains just doing iron ore, and then we have a train group for each group type. And then we hook these up to the circuit network, and with wires. That's one thing I forgot actually. I forgot to get wires into all these blueprints. We need green and red wires in all these blueprints, hooking up all the big electric poles. But that's something we can sort out next episode as well. And yeah, then we're going to be able to, basically we're going to have a base-wide wire network. And it's going to be feeding back the status of all of these stations. It's going to be like, okay, this one's requesting 3 different trains and there's no trains on the way. What's going on? And we're going to be able to just look at one place in the map and look at some LEDs and say, okay, we need more trains on the iron ore route. We need another station producing iron ore. Blah, 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 blah. It's going to be epic. But anyway, that is that for now. We are pretty much done and everything is going pretty awesome. So thank you very much for watching this stream, and we will be back next stream and doing stuff. We're going to be designing a station, basically. We're going to be designing a station, and we're going to be designing how these stations works and using programmatic blueprints, which is going to be very exciting. So thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.